It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert. And now introducing the F-boy turns nice guy, Mercedes Knox, everybody.
For our audio-only listeners, Mercedes was going,
Yeah, man. What's up, guys?
How you doing, Mercedes?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. Loving life. Life is good, and I'm ready to talk about this, man.
Yeah. Okay, well, I got to ask the question right out of the gate. I just have to get to it right away. Why didn't you take the 100K?
100K. Yeah. So, I mean, I never wanted to take the 100K. I was never even considered that. I never considered taking the 100K. I feel like, when you go through an entire journey with someone, whether you want to be with them or not, when you do that together, both of y'all kind of earn that money. And when you snatch that from somebody, that's greed to me. And whether I want to be with someone or not, I'm not greedy. So, I mean, she deserved that money just as much as I did. So that's why I split it with her.
So you're saying it wasn't because you were afraid the producers would do what they did to Garrett and
that was in everyone's head because of last season. But at the beginning of the season, they did say that, this time, the F-boys will be able to take it. But who knows if they actually believe him. But I mean, even if, I still don't think I would take the $50,000 from Louise.
Okay, I see. So it was a little tiny piece in the back of your head that was still saying, they're gonna Garrett me. They're gonna
yeah, exactly. Like, honestly, you see what they did to Casey 2 seasons in a row, so it's like, no, they don't really care. So it's like,
You talked such a big game, though. We were like, this guy is going to take the money. I mean, Mercedes, you were like, I'm the baddest motherfucker of them all. Like, I'm going to win this shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean,
and that was over a measly $50K. I mean, Mercedes, it was a little disappointing.
Yeah.
I got to say.
They wanted me to be the big super villain. But, I actually like Louise. So it was like, I couldn't do that to her. And, even though I was a villain, I was basically the villain to the guys. And I played the game to the guys, but I was never really playing the game with Louise. So when you see me being like a villain and going hard, it's really to the guys and playing that game towards them.
So you had seen season 1 though going into this one.
Yeah, so the producers, when you get there, they make sure you had seen the entire season.
Okay, gotcha. Right. And so what did you think about what happened with Garrett then? I
thought that he got played and they should have gave him the money because, I mean, he did play the game and he did win and he got chosen. So he deserved that money. So, that's super messed up. So I was like, I definitely don't want that to happen to me. So,
yeah.
So when's the wedding, Mercedes, if you really like Louise?
Right now, but we'll see. Who knows what the future has.
So what's going on with you and Louise now? What's the status?
Are you together?
We are not together. It's not like official. We live in 2 different states, so it's like it's kind of hard to, be with each other a lot. We've only seen each other like 3 or 4 times after the show. So it's like, there's still something there, but it's hard to be official and, kind of, take it too seriously right now.
I feel like this whole show is a lie. Like, we're told you are gonna like be this big villain. We hope you're gonna take all the money. You don't. We feel like you guys have this real relationship. You don't. It's like fake Boy Island. It's all
Max,
fake.
No, reality TV is all real, 100% all the time. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so Max. I mean, when you're on an island and you're like, you don't have your phone and it's just you and the girl, like the connections are built faster. It's not regular life. When you come out of that, real life hits and things change. So what you see on TV, it's real, but it's different from real life.
Yeah.
crying influence your decision at all? Were you close at all to that 100K, and then she cried, and that was like, okay, now I really have to,
Yeah, for
split
the chocolate fondue date or whatever. Yeah.
Wait, when she cried, like when she said everyone in the house hates you, or what are you talking about?
Oh, I guess she cried a lot. No, on the fondue date, they made it seem like a really big moment where she was like, I've been hurt so many times before. And this is where we see you be like, no, I'm dead. Like, it seemed like that was like a really big pivotal moment in your relationship with her. Was it a big pivotal moment?
It was. Her and I, at that time, we got closer. I mean, we got really deep in that conversation, and we're talking about the future and, what we can see and kind of what we like in each other. And, she got emotional because, I mean, she had been hurt in her past, and, seeing me come in as an F-boy, she could see that happening again with me. And, she kind of just wanted to make sure that it went, and she got emotional. So, I mean, that was definitely real. And, that brought us closer for sure.
Now, Mia yesterday, when we talked to her, she almost pretty much admitted that she regretted not taking the 100K now that she's not still together with Peter.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Any thoughts on that, considering you're not still together with Louise? Do you retroactively wish you may have taken the 100?
No. Not at all, because she deserved that money. Like, we went through that whole journey together. She deserved that money too. I'm not a greedy person. $50,000 is not worth hurting someone that much. You know what I'm saying? I know people may think I'm a big supervillain, like the biggest douchebag ever because of how I'm portrayed on the show, but I'm not. And Louise deserved that money just as much as I did. So, I don't regret splitting it at all. Whether we never talk again or whether we get married, she deserved that money.
That's good. It was a team effort then.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't regret it at all.
So are you an F-boy or not? Or are you just a poser, Mercedes? What's going on here?
I know this is crazy. It's not crazy. No, so I was an F-boy. And I was great at it. But life changes, man. And I think I'm reformed now.
Wow. Really? Wow.
Ish. Okay.
You just did the thing. You just shook his hand again.
Okay, the ish hand. Got that ish hand.
We're gonna keep digging deep, Mercedes. We're gonna keep going.
Were you ever worried that she was going to choose Benedict, or were you just always confident? How confident were you?
All the way. So literally the entire way, I knew I was going to win. But then the finale came, and they separate you. You can't talk to anyone but yourself, and you're with your own thoughts during the finale. So you're like, if she does pick him, like, will she pick him? Like, so you're in your head. That was the only time I was actually contemplating me actually losing, but I never at no point actually thought I was going to lose.
Really? Okay.
Are you just always like that? Are you just always a super confident kind of guy? Or did you feel that there was like really just concrete evidence?
I mean, there was concrete evidence, but I was that confident. So I knew I was going to win when I got casted on the show.
Okay.
Yes. I love that.
When I got casted on the show, and that suit that I wore, I don't wear suits. The suit that I wore during the finale, I bought the day before because I watched the season 1. I was like, I'm gonna need a suit for the finale, and I bought a suit and I wore it and won in it. So I knew I was gonna win.
Yeah, there was a moment when, because I assume you watched the season once it came out, right? Your season.
Yep.
There was a moment when Benedict was reading from his journal to Louise, and Max and I had kind of both agreed he sort of friend zoned himself,
right,
when he was doing that, because he kept talking about like, oh, we're really good friends, and
exactly.
we got to be like, what was your take on that moment?
So Ben is a genuinely nice guy, and he's obviously the guy, like I said, the guy you take home with your mom. Louise doesn't want that. She wants some guy with a little bit of spice to him, a little bit of edge. And, on the show, Ben didn't have that. There has to be like some kind of sex appeal, and Ben was just too nice on the show. Just too nice.
Were there any nice guys on the show that had that spice?
Let me think. Casey, who was a nice guy.
Yeah, he's not a nice guy.
Right, exactly. But on the show,
for the listeners, Mercedes is doing
man.
Quotations.
Nice.
Let's do the ish hand again too.
Exactly. So I would say Casey. Let me think of another nice guy, maybe.
It's hard.
Yeah,
They're also boring, right?
yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why there were, two F boys
Yeah,
Can-
exactly.
winning in the.
Can we talk about Casey? Because
Yep.
this is something we wanted to talk about. My question was going to be: do you think Casey's genuine, like at all?
I think he is. I think he's a genuine guy. I think he did come here to win though. I don't think he actually was into Tamaris at all. I think
Yeah.
he wanted his 50K from last season.
I think Tamaris felt that vibe too.
Tamaris isn't a dumb girl. She knows.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's not like he's an ingenuine person, but he knew what he was doing. He came here for a reason. I know he didn't think that he was going to get married to Tamaris. Like, come on.
Well, now this is a question I have after Mia's interview yesterday. Was he still with his ex during FBoy Island? Because we know he's back together with her now.
Right. So, I mean, what they didn't show on the season is me and Casey got into a huge argument in front of everyone. Like,
oh, really?
Going off on each other. And they cut the scene.
You got in an argument with someone? You?
Isn't that crazy?
Mercedes?
Did you call him Goofy? Did you?
I'm pretty sure. I know I threw in.
You're goofy. You're goofy.
Do y'all have a voice?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got lots of them.
That is hilarious. But I'm sure I threw in a couple goofies. But we're going back and forth, and that was thrown up to where he has a girlfriend, and I mean the way it looks like they broke up. He came on the show, and they got together right after the show.
Oh wow.
I don't know. I haven't spoken to Casey, but that's the way it looks. And I can't speak for the man because but I'm just saying how it looks.
Well, hopefully we can get him on the podcast.
Yeah.
So we can hear straight from him.
Yeah. I mean, he can defend himself.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, man. So, we'll see.
Oh, geez.
So, did you ever think about coming on as a nice guy, or were you like?
So actually, when you apply for these things, you don't actually know what they're gonna put you as. So you just come in and basically tell them about your life and who you are, and blah blah blah. And I didn't know if I was gonna be a nice guy or an F boy. So I didn't necessarily think I was an F boy because even though I do have a lot of women who I hook up with, they know that it's not serious and I'm not a liar. So I don't want to consider myself a player, someone who is like, oh, I love you, blah, 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 let's get married, but I have 6 other girlfriends. Every girl I'm associated with knows they're not the only one, and this is just a sexual thing. So I didn't necessarily think that I was a bad person, or
Sure, yeah.
Because I'm telling the truth and I'm not playing. So I didn't know what they're going to cast me as, blah, blah. But, when they see my life and, how many blah, 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 they're like, okay, we know you're an F boy. So it's like, okay, I get it. But yeah, I ran with it, and, it is what it is.
Yeah. How did you get into the show? Did you just were you applying for other reality shows? Like, how did you decide for FBoy Island? Did you watch it and go like, this is my thing? Like, what happened? Yeah, so somebody DM'd me on Instagram, like a recruiter, and was like, you'd be good for the show. Apply, and I'll set you up with a video chat with the producers. That was it. I did it. They liked me and they picked me. That was kind of it. That's how it happens these days. That's how like everyone we interview. It's the gram, That's how it goes. It's crazy. And it's like on Instagram you have like the request DMs. Like this guy had DM'd me like 3 weeks before, and I didn't see it because it was in a request. And I looked, and it happened to work out. If I'd never looked in, and I'd never be here talking to y'all.
Well, I'm glad you checked
gotta check our requests. I bet so many things are there for us.
So much spam. Yeah, lots of spam.
Exactly. So yeah, that's how it went.
Were you Mercedes? Were you able to detect the other F boys easily? And did anyone surprise you? Were you surprised by any of the F boy reveals? So I was able to detect it pretty easy. I know who's an F-boy and who was a nice guy. The only one that I didn't know was Ken. Ken flabbergasted
us all. I was like in shock, jaw on the ground, because he played it perfectly. He was he acts like a nice guy, but then when you think about it, he's a frat boy. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like no one connected those dots because of how nice and genuine he was. So I was shocked by his Asante.
I wish they had shown his audition tape to everybody there, because it was wow when we watched that.
Exactly. So we saw that, or I saw that when I watched the show, and I was like, wow, that's a different key. And then I saw the entire time on the show, So that was interesting. And also Asante, I kind of had an inkling that he was a F-boy just by how he dresses and how he like carries himself. But he was a nice guy, and he is genuinely a nice guy. But just from looking in, you would think F-boy just how he presents himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mia is still texting with Kian, and he like checks up on her all the time, and she thinks that he's a good guy. And I'm telling her, I'm like, this is a long con. It's a long play. You gotta cut off all contact.
It's a 2-year long con.
He's
gonna get her.
Once he dips it, he's gonna run.
The frat boys. Yeah, but Kian's a very good guy. I like him a lot, man.
Sure. Okay.
No, that's the thing. He does seem like a really good guy. He seems so nice. But then you see that audition tape and you're just like, what the hell?
I got chills. Like I was scared. Like that was
scared. Also, I forgot Lucas. He he told everyone he's a virgin, and he comes out. That was a shocker too. I was actually scared, like terrified. Like, is this guy like gonna kill us all? Like does he have guns in his what is he?
I wonder if he was a little bit worried about how everyone just believed him so easily that he was a virgin. Is he just really good at radiating virgin energy? Like what?
I think he knows that. So when you're homeschooled, you don't learn these social things that we learn in public school by, interacting with all these different type of people. When you're homeschooled, you're just there with your parents, and you don't learn these things. So he was like kind of a little like off in that way. So it's like maybe he could be a virgin. So that's why it was a little bit believable. But yeah, he wasn't.
Now I got to get your take on Lukash at the mansplaining event. Did that just come out of the blue? Was that just out of nowhere?
Out of the blue. I had no clue. I was shocked. You saw my face. I was like, huh? I thought he was going to be another person like kind of come at me. You saw all the guys like saying something. So when he's like, Mercedes, you know what? I'm like, what? Like, what you got? And he was like, I really do like you, blah, blah. And I'm like, I like you too. And it's like, what are you saying? Like, what are you trying to get? And, I think you're really hot and all this. And I'm sitting there like lost. I'm looking at the producers like, what am I supposed to say here? So
I like you too, Lukash.
I like you too, I guess. And
did he ever follow up on that? Did he hit you up after the show?
We talked to him. He DMs me. He hasn't like gone as far as like inviting me to LA, but yeah, he's a cool guy. I think he knows where I stand though. So
he's one of our picks for who we think will be back next season for FBoy Island. Yeah,
that's interesting.
He's a star that shined too bright and went out too soon.
He shined very bright.
He made the most of his time on.
No, he did. He did.
Show.
Yeah, I was happy about it. If anybody says I'm good looking, I'm happy.
Of course.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
We had this moment with Nikolai. This is a moment. I want to play this quick clip. We had Nico say this.
If she hears you called her a dumb blonde, you are fucked.
It was an amazing moment. You were a big part of this.
Yes.
After watching the show, have you talked to Nikolai?
Yeah, I have. He's cool. He's not upset about it. I know
that's cool.
I know he's like a little bit embarrassed of how, he kind of performed on the show because, everything he did was just bad. So I know he's a little bit embarrassed, but, he's taking it okay. But there's no hard feelings between us. We're still cool. We follow each other. It is what it is.
Did you ever see him even really as a threat though when it came to Louise? So was that just fun and games for you?
He actually just pissed me off. Like he made me mad
really?
during our conversation. So I was like, all right, you're dumb enough to manipulate. So here we go. And yeah, so that was it. Like, he obviously said the dumb blonde thing sitting right next to me. I was like, you're stupid for saying that. Like, you shouldn't have said that, but then you said it right next to me. So it's like, this is gonna come out. And it's like at the end of the day, I was on a mission to just take motherfuckers out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like snipe people. So when you give me ammunition, I'm gonna use it.
Do you wish that you had been sitting next to Kyland when Kyland said his comment about Louise being a kissing booth?
Yeah, I wish I was there. I got that out too, but my boy Austin hooked me up with that one.
Now, is Austin a producer? Because Max and I speculated that he was just a producer thrown into the game.
Austin came in not giving a shit. So the guys coming in, the new bombshells or whatever coming in, they come in at such a disadvantage because the girls already know who they want by then. They already know. And for you to come in that late, you're going to have to beat out some very good guys. And I think they came in, saw how progressed the connections were with other guys, and they kind of gave up all of them. It was just like, I'm not going to be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? So all of them knew that it was kind of done. So Austin was kind of like, hey, I don't really care what happens, but, I think he disrespected her, so I'm going to let it be known. And I don't think he specifically did it for me, but, it helped me out.
He did it for us, the viewers.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it produced good television.
Exactly.
That's why we thought he was a producer.
Right. He just didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just didn't care, and he was just like, I might as well get this little thing out.
What did you think of the whole confrontation that followed, though, with all the guys storming around him and confronting him?
That was ridiculous. I was like, it looked like a bully session. Like, why is everyone ganging up? So the thing was, and they didn't show this, everyone was ganging up on Austin, and I was like, Austin, thank you for that. I got your back. Fuck all these guys. You know what I'm saying? So pulled him aside. We had a conversation on camera. I was like, honestly, all these guys coming at you, I don't give a fuck. I got your back whenever. And, we were kind of close after that. And we had like a conversation sitting down next to all the other guys, and they were still coming at him. And this was when I was there, and I started going off on every other person coming at him. So
and they didn't show that.
Yeah, they didn't show that. They didn't.
Oh, come on.
Well, too.
Well, there's a similar scene to the one you're describing when I think it was Danny and Mikey D were going after Peter.
Right.
And you were kind of involved in it, and they were still mad at him, but you all of a sudden go, I'm okay with you. Was that you kind of manipulating the situation to piss off Mikey D, or were you actually saying that Peter was okay at the time? What was going?
Actually, I never said at no point that I don't like Peter. They had a plan that Peter doesn't like everyone, and I didn't say anything. I'm like, that if y'all don't like him or he's here for the game, you can believe that, blah, blah, blah. So they expected me to be a part of their gang bully thing. And I'm like, I'm not doing it. I actually like Peter. So it's like, they wanted me to be mad at someone, and I'm not. And I'm like, I choose who my friends are. You don't choose who my friends are. So, they were upset about it, but it is what it is. And then me and him came out on top. So
now you clashed with a lot of people in the house, though.
Yeah.
Is there anybody who holds grudges against you and you're still not on good relationships with? Because it seems that you do have squashed beefs. Like, are you and Kyland okay?
Oh, cool. I think me and Kyland would be best friends. Literally. Even though we had that big fight, I think me and Kyland are similar in a lot of ways. And he's actually a really cool guy. We were just, obviously going after the same girl. And, when there's a competition and guys involved, testosterone, and women are involved, you're going to get things like that. But, after all that, we realized, like, it's a TV show, it's a game, and, it is what it is. So, I mean, no one really holds grudges after the show, and we're all cool.
This is very disappointing, all of this. You're not giving me the answers that I want. So Kylan's not even a goofy? He's not a goofy? What?
On the show he was. After the show, he's cool.
Mercedes, just lie. Just say you like. God.
Just say you wanted to take the 100K. God.
Okay. There's one other person that we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Your friend Tom. What was up with your friendship?
best
with
friend Tom.
Your best friend Tom.
Hi, man. So Tom was my roommate. We slept in the same room every night. And we
How
talked.
could you get to sleep with all the crying happening near you?
so he's actually very emotional, and life is different for him. He's from Ohio. He's a small town guy. He wants different things in life, and he kind of thinks differently. So when he came onto the show and found Tamaris and built that connection, he kind of latched onto it, and he kind of was blind to all of Tamaris's F-girl things, which we all saw. And I was like, Tom, you and her are totally different people. Like, you're the nicest of the nice, and she's like the worst of the worst. So it's like, dude, they're not compatible at all. But knowing Tom and how strong his emotions were for her, there was no telling him off. So I was like, bro, I mean, I guess go for it, go for it, follow your heart, I guess. And, I knew it wasn't going to work, but it was like, try it at least. So that was kind of it for him. And he was just super, emotional with it. And Tamaris is not that kind of girl to take an emotional guy.
Yeah.
Their relationship was quite puzzling to me.
Yeah, it was confusing in the show for all of us. All of us, even the guys in the show, were just like, there's no way this is going to work. And there's no telling Tom either. None of us are going to be like, Tom, you're wrong. You wasted 3 weeks, switch someone else. There's no, so it was just like, we're going to have to see what happens.
I'm not so sure Tom would have been compatible with any of those three ladies.
Let me think. No.
Yeah.
No, Tom's too good of a guy.
Did he ever get his ring back? Did he get his ring back from the ocean?
I think he threw it. No, wait. I was talking to someone last week, and someone said they found it. I think Benedict or somebody found it. So I think he might have it.
Yeah, we saw it on Instagram that somebody had it.
Right. So, I mean, who knows? But yeah, that was interesting. He's an actual good person, which none of us on the show were. It was just him.
Let's talk a little bit about the mansplaining again.
Oh, yeah.
We felt like you did a pretty good job at deflecting a lot of the things that were coming your way, but did it feel like it was a coordinated effort from a lot of those guys going after you?
Oh, it was, but I ate them the fuck up. The fuck up with everything. So you see Nikolai, Kylan, two enemies in the house. First thing Nikolai says, oh, bro, you told me you're taking the 100K. Kylan, oh, yeah, bro, he did. So I'm telling my two enemies I'm taking the 100K, but don't tell anyone else. So obviously you guys are fucking lying. Like, they're just so stupid with it. It's just they're so dumb with it. And I just ate them the fuck up with every single thing. So the producers thought that this was going to be my downfall. And they were like, oh, these guys are going to kill this guy. But I ate up every fucking thing they threw at me because they were all lies. At the end of the day, if you watch season 1, that is the blueprint of how to win this fucking game. All you have to do is not do any locker room talk. That's all you have to do. And I made it a point to not tell anyone that I was going to take the 100K, not tell anyone I got bitches back home, not tell anyone, blah, 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 I'm an F-boy. I made it a point. So I knew during the mansplaining, if anyone said that, they're a fucking liar. So when I did that, and there was my two enemies saying that I took 100K, I was like, you guys are fucking stupid. And then Kylan coming at me saying, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you came with a girlfriend, then you lied. It was just, I ate them up at every point. And the producers were like, fuck. The producers were pissed, and they're like pacing back and forth because they're like, this is where he was supposed to get shot down. And I ate him up.
Yeah, I gotta say the mansplain was very disappointing from I mean, no, why didn't anyone have anything to say about Peter? What was that, a coordinated attack against Danny?
I don't know. So Peter had a little bit. People said, probably one or two people said something, but it was nothing big. But I don't know. People were coming at Danny. I don't know why, but they were coming at him. I don't know why though. It was crazy.
Really? So you never really saw that side of Danny in the house of what they were saying?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all.
Did he call Mia a dumb bitch?
I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't think he did. I don't see him saying that. But you know, who knows? I'm not there with Danny 24/7. But me knowing Danny, I don't think he would say that.
Okay.
See, now if some of those guys at the mansplaining had just paid Jabrian to back them up, then they could have gone
Exactly.
a bit further with
Adrian.
Yeah, it would have been better.
Jabrian holds a lot of power with how they view him. Yeah,
because he's like an honest guy. You can just look at him and see how he carries himself, and like, this guy's a good person and he's honest. So you know that carries a lot of weight with the girls. So I mean, you don't want Jabrian on your bad side, and you know they didn't show. I was on Jabrian's bad side. Me and Jabrian got in arguments that they didn't show, like fights.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like. I got in a fight with everybody, you know that. But
did you get in a fight with Nikki?
I almost. No, I'm kidding. Nikki was great though. But yeah, so me and Jabrian, you know, we had our feuds in the house. So, you know, he tried to like kind of come at me at some points, but you know, it was never really like anything crazy.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
How did you feel about having to reveal yourself as an F-boy so early when you had to do the whole reveal thing?
Yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, we're kind of expecting it. I mean, we watched season one. We knew what we were going to have to do. So coming in, I knew I was an F-boy, so I knew I was going to have to explain this. So, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I planned for this stuff. You know, I wasn't caught off guard by anything. I planned for this. From the beginning, I was like, I want Louise. I like her. So when this reveal comes, I'm going to have to explain myself. So, I mean, I knew what I was going to say and I was ready.
Did she have an inkling of what was of what your status was on the show?
I'm sure she had an inkling. But I mean, I give off F-boy. I mean, I have like piercings, you know, tattoos. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I don't look like a nice guy. Let's be honest. So I mean, I'm sure, you know, she's not that dumb, you know, she knew. But you know, it's obviously not something you want to hear. So it just is what it is. And I just knew I had to it was going to be like, you know, it was going to be like a downfall to where it was something I'm going to have to make up for. So I was ready for it. I was prepared and, you know, I did the thing.
I have a, you know, I came up with a conspiracy theory on the podcast and I want to ask you about it. So on the golf date, you said,
I can sit back and shit the bed and still beat these guys.
And then at the next elimination challenge, you were not there because you were with Toilet. So were you intentionally not there to prove that you didn't have to be there and could still win?
Good.
You're like, I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
But maybe it was like karma. It was like, actually, you are gonna shit the bed. No. I had a stomach bug. And I was like really sick. And I was like kind of like bedridden. So I couldn't actually show up. But I knew I wasn't going home because Nick W was still there, and there was no way Nick W was staying longer than me. So I was like, I didn't need to be there. Let's be honest.
If she did kick you out, how would they have just kicked you out even though you were sick? Do you think?
Yeah, they would have came out. They would have came down to my room and be like, "Oh, yo, she eliminated you." But so I didn't really need to be there.
Yeah, because
push you out on a stretcher.
We all know about Nick.
Nick is giving like demon energy.
He's a demon.
Energy. Yeah, he was very edgy with his style. It was like very like spikes and silver jewelry. It was just like very, so I mean that's his style, I guess.
What did you think of Luis's assessment of your IG page?
I was pissed. I was livid. She called me a poser for driving my own car and taking a picture with my own car. And then you hear like Nia or Tamarison back, "Oh, that's not his car. It is my car." So I guess they just haven't seen someone, you know, like me with a car like that. So it's just like, you know, that's their thing. And then they called me a poser for wearing a robe that I wear every day in the house. They literally have videos of me in the house. So I'm like, how am I a poser when this is just me? So that was pissed because it's like, you know, everything about that is me. So, you know, that's they're, you know, testing your character, you know, seeing who you are, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I was livid, like very,
I
very.
love that this is the most upset you've you've been is about your IG page. I love it.
Everything else has been like, yeah, we squashed the beef. Everything's cool. Like all these fights were just for TV, but the IG page, no, that's my car.
Don't talk about my car. Don't talk about my car. You're goofy.
You're goofy. Yeah, exactly. Man.
You're a goofy.
You're goofy.
I haven't heard somebody called "you're a goofy" before. Is this your own thing? Is this a Texas thing? What is this?
It's a thing here in Dallas for sure. I mean, I thought it was a thing kind of, you know, the whole country did, but like I guess not. People were surprised like what that means. I'm like, it means you're goofy, you're stupid, you're dumb, you're weird, something like that. But yeah, people were like, bro, what are you talking about? I'm like, okay, I'm not about to get a dictionary out.
So if anybody ever asked you to watch the Goofy movie, you'd be like, I'm not going to watch that dumb movie. It was a stupid movie.
That movie. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the most thing that's catched on. Like all of my comments on my Instagram are goofy, 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 goofy. I'm like, shit, I should have said that.
It's your catchphrase now. Now, when people see you on the street, you got to go, you're goofy.
Yeah, I got to rock with it. People y'all just want me to say you're goofy. I'm like, oh, God.
So the big moment of the end of the season was Tamaris choosing herself. Surprised, not surprised?
I was surprised and I was pissed. You can see glaring at her the entire time, like glaring. Because if you see when she was on her date with Asante, she was like, oh, I don't really trust Mercedes. I feel like he's going to take the 100K. I feel like he's only here for clout. And I feel like he's not really here for Luis. But when you turn that around, he was taking the 100K. She was here for clout and she's not here for Casey. So it's like that kind of pissed me off. And I'm like, you were kind of talking shit about me the whole season, but then you go out and do it. And then I split the money. So that kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but you know, it is what it is.
So this was one question that we had, and we'll ask Tamaris too. But did she come into the show like from the beginning as like an F girl, or was that just something she said at the end once it was revealed that they could take the cash and
No.
she had some time to think about it?
No, she came in as an F girl. She would call herself an F girl. We all saw like how she would talk about, you know, saying that she cheated before, talking about all of her sexual experiences open. And it's like, you know, and then you look at Tom and it's like, Tom, this is the girl, you know, this like, you know, so it was like, we could all tell she was an F girl. I was surprised that she took the money because I didn't know they even had that option. But if anyone was going to do it, it was going to be her for sure.
Yeah, the second the twist was announced, I was like, well, Tamaris is going to take that money.
So, yeah.
I was really excited about it.
Yeah. I was shocked. I mean,
I root for everybody to take the 100K. It's good TV. It's good TV.
Just because I knew at that point that you were going to split it, and that I knew that Mia was probably going to give it away, and I felt that Peter was probably going to split it. Mm-hmm. So I was like, well, somebody has to take the money. Yeah.
Right. Somebody has to. But I mean, at the end of the day, you know, when the producers, on the last day, you have to sign, you know, if you're going to take it or not. So before going in, they know what's going to happen. You know, they know who's going to take it and who's going to split it and how it's going to go. So it's like, they would have made sure someone was going to take the 100K. You know, They would have made sure. And I don't think they wanted me to take the 100K.
Yeah.
So it was like, I mean, I wasn't supposed to be the bad person this season. And, you know, it is what it is. I didn't want to take the 100K. And Tamaris, I feel like she wanted to take, like, she kind of like had this plan the entire time, or even maybe thought that this was going to be an option, you know, because I don't think she ever took Casey seriously. I don't think she ever took Tom seriously. And she definitely never took Nico seriously.
Yeah.
So, you know, it just is what it is.
Look, from my perspective, but I'm a viewer. You know, I'm not out there like you guys are, and you guys are making like connections and everything. So I totally understand that perspective of being like, oh, this would be really shitty to do now after all this. But from my perspective, it's like if you know you live in another state from another person, you know that relationship is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Why not just take that 100K?
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I mean, still, you're gonna get Garrett. Like, he is forever the douchebag of the world, forever the bad guy.
So is it about rep? Oh, we lost Max for a second. We'll keep going though. Is it about rep though?
It's not about rep, but I mean, your image does matter, you know. And I don't want to be the bad guy forever. And you know, $50,000 isn't worth, you know, taking that money from, you know, Louise and being the bad guy forever. Like that $100,000 is not worth that to me.
So does Garrett like do you know him much outside of this show? Does he get a lot of shit? So does he get a lot of shit like outside the show?
A lot of hate. He's probably the most hated TV star like ever.
That's crazy. I love Garrett.
Yeah, exactly. Some people, you know, it's like a love and hate, but like, you know, there's people who literally like probably like death threats to this guy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Okay.
He said like a lot of stuff, not just about like stuff that he did on the show though, but he said stuff about himself like off the show though that was like off color, that made himself sound like a bad person off the show though. And I think that was a big mistake that he made, if you remember from like the beginning of the show, where he's like, I'm a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, I do bad things. I treat women like shit. Like, he just didn't sound
That's
good.
true. That's true.
That is
I retract what I said, saying I like him.
No, I mean, I really like him as a character. Like,
He's
good
great
TV.
TV.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Ben. Yeah.
If anything, I was kind of like a little disappointed that he didn't get more utilized in the show, because he kind of just had that quick little scene with Casey and then he was in Peter and then he was gone.
Yeah, exactly.
I would have liked to see more of Garrett. He was just such a great character from season one.
I think the producers wanted him to like stay more, but the girls were just not fucking with him at all. So he kind of was just like, I'm going.
Did you get the feeling that the producers wanted you to be the Garrett of this season?
Oh, they definitely did.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely did. You know, when you're going back down there and you're doing the interviews, you know, they tell you, you know, when to like spice it up, or show me more of your, you know, arrogant side, or
sure,
blah, 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 you know, spice it up a bit, or blah blah blah. You know, so they're training you and teaching you how to be and what they want you to be. So I figured it. I knew I was gonna be the villain because I was fighting with everyone anyway, so it was an easy. So it was just like, all right, this guy. But and I mean, and I was an FBoy, so it was like clear as day, and I was the front runner, so it's like I'm gonna be in the most like TV time or screen time, so it's like, and you know, I'm the FBoy, and I'm fighting with everyone. I mean, that's the easy villain right there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Would you go back to FBoy Island for another season, and would you ever consider doing another reality show?
Would I go back to FBoy Island? So FBoy Island meaning 3 girls and I'd be a part of the pool of guys.
Yeah,
sure.
Okay. Yeah, and I win again.
And you'd probably be going in as reformed F-boy, right? That's probably what they'd label you as.
Then it'll be easier, yeah. And I mean, I would definitely do another TV show. I mean, this experience was absolutely amazing, so much fun. I mean, and then I won it too, so it's like, you know, obviously I'm good at it. So I mean, I would definitely do it. And you know, and it's like I was playing this game, and it was more strategic than anyone else was playing the game. Like, more people were just like there for like vacation, but I was actually like in the game, like thinking about how I can take people out, thinking about how, you know, I could build me and Louise's connection more, and how I move out throughout the game. So it's like, you know, I mean, I know how to move and I know how to play a game strategically. So it's like, you know, I could definitely do a lot of other things too, a lot of other like TV shows or whatever.
Do you like other reality shows, like strategy shows or anything like that?
Yeah, I watched like Love Island. I've watched like The Challenge on MTV. And kind of that's really it. But yeah, I like reality TV.
Cool.
Nice. Yeah. I'd love to see you on the challenge. That'd be fun.
That'd be
Yeah,
dope.
that'd be dope. Yeah.
That'd be dope for sure. Yeah.
You'd be good on Love Island too, though. That'd be really fun.
Yeah, I think so too. That'd be good. But
Yeah.
I don't think they like take people from like other shows. I don't think.
Yeah, no, not yet. Not
Yeah.
as of yet. Yeah.
Right.
Or
No.
they did the first season. I think they had someone from Big Brother on there, but they
Yeah.
haven't in a while. Yeah. Or at
yeah.
least yes. Yeah.
Oh, I
yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Hey, we'll see. I don't know if they want another winner and then come back and win that one too.
Yeah.
So Mercedes, was there any other tea that needs to be spilled from
Tea.
this season? Was there anything that we didn't see on camera this season that was especially good?
Man, let me think. Any tea? Let me think. I don't know. There's no really tea. I can think of like one. The way they did Aaron was absolutely the most fucked up thing I've ever seen.
Who?
He actually talks, and the thing is, we don't know how they're gonna edit it and portray us. This man probably told his family that I'm going on this show, watch this show, and then he doesn't speak a word throughout the show. That is so fucked.
Was he that boring? Was he?
I mean, honestly, he's a good guy, but he was kind of boring in the essence of, you have to be, a big personality for the show. So he wasn't that big of a personality, but he spoke and he was like a big part of the house. So, I mean, they definitely could have put more speaking parts in him instead of like shutting him out. But I mean, it just kind of is what it is.
How about
All I want to do is get out of the fun uncle zone.
how was Brant, or Brent as they call him?
Oh my God. So Tamara's calling him Brant was the funniest shit ever. Like, when you eliminate a man and you don't even know his name, that was tackling. But he's a very, very cool guy, big personality, like huge personality. One of the most fun people in the house for sure. And I kind of wish he would have stayed longer because he was a lot of fun to be around, and I like him a lot for sure.
And do you guys all call him Uncle Brant now?
Oh yeah,
Or-
he's Uncle. He's Funkle, Hunkle, everything. Yeah, he's great though. I love him.
Oh, that poor guy. He's forever gonna be the uncle from FBoy Island. Now.
Forever, man. Luis low-key was like she was going off on people, man. She was going off. Like she's the one who said that, he's like an uncle. And she was saying some crazy stuff. She even, like, when Colin got eliminated, she was like, I feel bad for your mom and your sister. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, she definitely had like the most savage things to say to people. We were
Yeah.
always like, damn.
Yeah, I love it.
She's savage, man. Yeah, bro. She's definitely a savage, bro.
Well, Mercedes, if you go on another reality show, if you could replace Goofy with saying, you're the opposite of my favorite podcast, Reality Alert, we would really appreciate that. If you could make that your new catchphrase.
Yeah.
Just keep saying it.
I got you. That's my next one.
Thank you.
That's good. Well, we'll tell everybody to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone's catchphrase.
This is what branding is.
Yeah.
This is how you grow. Okay.
I got you guys. You're gonna have to put me on here. I'm gonna have to be the third one.
Yeah, there
Hey.
you go. Our co-host. If there's an FBoy Island season 3, we'd love to have you back to recap with us.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Well, Mercedes, this has been such a great time
Yes.
Yes.
You're-
Yeah.
on the podcast.
Yeah.
We want to thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at Mercedes Knox, Twitter, Mercedes Knox. And yeah, I think that's really all I got. And yeah, you could follow my clothing brand, Sinners Club. It's in my link in my bio on Instagram. But yeah, thank you guys for having me. And I really appreciate this. This is a lot of fun, guys.
Yeah, we really appreciate your time, Mercedes. Thanks
Oh,
so much for coming
thank
on.
Thank you.
All right. All right, thank you, Rascals. We are going to be back in just how long? An hour from now with Tamaris Sepulveda, the queen of FBoy Island season 2. That's going to be a really fun interview. So join us for that. We're going to be live on YouTube and Twitch. Let's see, anything else going on, Max? We have Danny scheduled for next week, next Friday. So that will be a good one as well. I think that's going to be around 3 p.m. Eastern as well. So you could look forward to that interview too.
Yeah, we're going to try to get some more people booked as well, whoever we can get. So keep an eye on lookout for that. We'll be back next week with our coverage of 90 Day Fiancé on Wednesday, scheduling switching up a little bit. So stay in tune for that. And otherwise, stay tuned for anyone that's joining us for any of these X interviews. Be sure to subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/realityalert, or follow us on any podcasting platforms. And be sure to check us out, patreon.com/realityalert, to follow any of our FBoy Island coverage of the regular season. The first episode is free, though, and you can check that out on YouTube and podcasting platforms as well.
That's
it. Yes.
Stay rascally. Bye-bye.
Bye. It's the place you go when you finish your show. We're your two best friends. Our names are Max and Ben. We're self-proclaimed television experts. It's Reality Alert.
You're a goofy.